Who? Ah, I said it. I said it. All right. Get some writing in today. Started a few minutes early. You know what? That's good. That's good. That's a few more minutes to write. Lots of writing today, as the title clearly states. Clearly. Where? That's up there. What do we got here, people? People are doing things. Crazy people doing crazy things. Like me. I'm going to charge my watch. I got a program running in the background trying to copy a giant folder to another location. So hopefully my computer will run a little faster than normal. My baseball game. Out of the Park 26, which is from the 2025 thing. So happy pause Friday to you too. You know what I thought the POS meant? I'm like, well, that's not nice calling Friday that. Chad, I saw your new book is up. Congratulations. When you get copies in, let me know and I will purchase a copy, but I want you to sign it and send it to me. You got to laugh from me, my friend. You got to laugh from me. My goal is to get some writing in today. But again, I'm trying to copy my what do you call it? All my baseball game stuff because I'm like, why does it after a while all of a sudden it starts to say when I click on to start like a new thing on it, it's like deleting files and it says like 5,000 files and it runs each one blah 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 like 3 minutes it goes. I looked it up and I'm like, oh, because for some reason OneDrive is also saving all of the files and they don't delete them. You have to go in and manually delete them. And so I've been doing that. Oh, like maybe twice a month, and then it just builds up so quickly because I play the game every day. And then I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do this. Like, why does it automatically it saves within the game, at which I have a folder, and then it also saves in OneDrive. So I figured out, oh, you have to basically move it. You have to copy it from OneDrive onto my C drive and then go back and delete it from the other one. But it's with everything, it's like 68,000 items. And it says time remaining more than a day. It's been running for about an hour and a half, and it just keeps naming all the different files. I'm hoping once it names all the files, then it will delete all of the files. But so far, my percentage complete is 0. Chad says, thanks. Looking forward to selling a copy. Maybe even 2. You know what? Maybe even 2. Stranger things have happened, right? I found out like a year ago that a lot of the stories and books I've written and saved onto the hard drive on my computer aren't even on there. They're on OneDrive. Not cool. Yeah. Yeah, just like looking it up and going, oh, okay, so everything's on OneDrive, so I got to get rid of it, move it. And then I said the same thing. I'm like, oh, literally everything is on here, which is, I had to make sure that I had them in other places. I have two external drives and I have my laptop. And I have most of it now is written in Google Docs. So it's in several places, but it's also on OneDrive. So I'm like, you know what? For now, I'll leave them as long as they're in other places. Which reminds me, I got to back up the. On Sunday, I have to back up my external drive to the other external drive. Chad says, I don't understand how they can do that. I pay $1,600 for a computer, save it all on the drive it came with, but then go to retrieve it and it's all gone in the cloud. Yeah, I don't understand that part of it. I don't see anything that's been removed from my laptop, except if I've moved it myself. Every now and then I'll move like a block of stories or whatever onto the external drive. I also have that other one. What's the other? I can't remember what it was. Jay Wilburn used to use it, and then he got me like a coupon for it. I don't remember the name of it. For some reason, whenever I say the name, it reminds me of Han Solo being frozen. So it's like carbonite or something like that. The folders are there, but the files inside are gone. That makes no sense. I knew I was going to do that too. I just typed in for dessert, but I wrote for desert. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. It's not. It's not right. Yeah, I hate this thing just running. I mean, it's literally been running for like over an hour now. Get rid of it, you know? My goal today is to write a lot of words. I broke 1,800 hours on YouTube, which makes me happy. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Chad, because I know you've been watching, and I appreciate that. I'm on video number 68 of your Twitch playlist, so another 23 hours or so streamed since we last talked on Wednesday. That is awesome. That is freaking awesome. Keep it going. Yeah, yesterday it was about 24 hours. But again, it's from like 5 days ago. And I try not to look. I try not to go, what did I do? What how many hours did I actually get yesterday or the day before, because then it will drive me nuts. I like to be surprised every morning when I get up and look at it. So pretty much when I hit it, 5 days later, they will tell me I hit it. I see a lot of people are saying, I don't know if you hit it, if you notice this, a bunch of people are saying they knew they hit it because they started seeing ads on their videos, but they weren't getting paid for them. So YouTube basically is like, oh, good, you're eligible, but until you fill it out, we can just run ads on these. Charlie, happy Friday the 13th. That's right, Friday the 13th. How spooky. I forgot that. I forgot it was Friday the 13th. It don't matter. You know, I felt bad for on Friday the 13th. The Knights Templar who were killed on this day several years ago. There was a woman that I watched this morning, a writer. Her video about like mistakes, don't writing mistakes, something like that. But her thing basically was, yeah, so I hit 4,000 hours like 6 months ago. And I hit my subscribers like 6 months ago. And then I thought I filled out the paperwork to monetize, but apparently I never did. And I realized 6 months later they were running ads and I was not getting paid. And I thought, well, maybe there's a threshold or something before they pay you, or maybe they pay out. She's like, I did no research. And then I look and I realized I just never put in for it. So then I put in and I lost 6 months worth of worth of money. Wow. That would annoy me. Like, I'm literally going to be like sitting up at night waiting for me to hit that 4,000 hours, thanks to Chad Lutsky. You know what I'm going to do with that money? I'm going to buy Chad Lutsky children's books for my little free library. We're supposed to tomorrow take the bench one, which is the kids one, take that onto the back porch and re-sand it and fill in all there's like cracks like crazy. I mean, that thing's been sitting out in the weather for going on 4 years, 5 years, maybe 6 years, maybe 37 years. There's Keith. Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon, Keith. Keith, I want to thank you as well for watching my videos and also watching the background. I broke 1,800 hours, so got another 2,200 hours to go. Chaz says it's my 56th birthday today. Not asking for much, just everyone buy a stack of Lutsky books and maybe listen to The Accused. I will not listen to The Accused, but maybe 56. You're old. So I'm older than you then. Because I'm already 56. It's 5 months ago. Crazy. You look way older than me, though. No. Well, happy birthday, Chad. Happy birthday. I recommend the Grinning Like an Undertaker album. I will put that under advisement. I will listen to that or anything John Bowden recommends today. Wind knocked something down out there. Chaz says Bowden will recommend Accused. When we met, he had an Accused sticker on his laptop. You know what? If he knows it's your birthday, that's who he recommends. So my goal is an hour and a half to 2 hours here. Or really, I could go 5 hours if I wanted to. My wife isn't going to be home till about 5. She had to go down to Gainesville to have lunch with her aunt, her 93-year-old aunt, who just got married in October to a 96-year-old gentleman. She's still Aunt Bobby's still doing it though. You know, she's still she's got more energy than I do. 93 years old. So they're going to go get some fancy lunch in Gainesville. then she'll be home. I think tomorrow we're making. I took out ribs. I took out 2 packs of ribs. I hope I was supposed to take out both packs. 2 packs of ribs to thaw today. We're gonna do ribs in the smoker for Valentine's Day, or as people say, Valentine's Day. Never understood that one. Chad says, "Did they consummate the marriage?" I wasn't there. I don't. I mean, I was at the wedding, but I wasn't at the when they went to. Where did they go to? Aruba, I think, for the honeymoon. I don't know what they. I would imagine no, because neither of them had a heart attack. 93 years old, you getting married? That was kind of crazy. Okay. This file folder copying is gonna annoy me. Just because I keep seeing it at the corner of my eye running, but it's not really doing anything. Going through and naming. Again, it's 67,873 items. Which is insane. Come on. Let me look that up. Yep, that's right. Okay. I didn't know if Greencastle was one word or 2 words for the city. One word. One word. Okay, sure. I know you're asking. One word. That's crazy. It is 64 degrees here. It's really nice. I got the windows open. It was like 40 when I went out this morning to do my what is this crap? It's a fantasy paranormal romance named Dirty Deeds. Now all my fans are going to think it's mine. No one's going to think that. Oh my god! Literally every other message is your story caught me. No, it didn't. No, it didn't, Mister or Mrs. AI person. It did not catch you. I had that woman who speaks in broken English. I don't know where she's from, and she even though last week I answered the phone and she wants to make my book, and then she just says a random name of a book into a movie. Her company, they're going to do this, and they need to set up a Zoom call, whatever. And I was like, for the last time, and then I used a lot of profanity, and I think I even called her the C word, which is not nice. I was like, get me off of this list. I don't want to work with your garbage company, and go rip somebody else off. Take me off this list. And then I knew doing that, like this is probably her right now. I knew doing that it was going to be. So then today she called again this morning, and I just happened to answer the phone. It was like 7:30 in the morning. Mr. Rosamilia, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, listen, are you kidding me? You call? Is there anybody else in that office, or is it just you? Is it basically just you ripping people off? Because you're the only one that calls me every freaking day, twice a day. You call me. I want to work with you. No, to her again. Like every time you call, I'm just gonna just curse you out. I'm not even gonna let you start talking. I'm just as soon as I hear your voice, I'm just gonna curse you out. And of course, I'm like, I know I know the dumb move is to answer the phone because then they know, oh, we got somebody on the line. And then she's just gonna keep calling, and she's calling, hundreds of people, I'm sure, every day doing that. Chance was almost 40 here the other day. That is gorgeous for up there. Man, I remember living in New Jersey growing up. It was 40. I'm like, shorts weather. I I went and hung out with a bunch of the local writers yesterday. We went to the what I thought was we were going to the Chinese buffet we always go to. So I drive over there. It's a half an hour. Sitting in the parking lot, I'm like a half an hour early. I brought my Tim Wagner Conan book with me. I had a couple of errands to run in the morning, so I was there early. I was like, I'll just sit here. And then somebody was like, "Oh, I can't make it." And somebody else was like, "We're going to the which one are we going to?" And I'm like thinking, we always go to this one. We always go to the Sakura Chinese buffet. And they're like, "Oh, we're going to the Fushimi, the Japanese buffet." And I was mad because that one is like less than 10 minutes from my house. So now I got to drive 20 minutes from there, and I'm like 5 minutes late. And all I had to do was just basically sit at home till 10:50, get in the car and drive over for 11 o'clock. And I was like, who changed this? Oh, you didn't get the emails? No, nobody emailed me, idiots. Key said I had a scammer want $220 to put Edgar Allan Poe and the Spectre Eliminator on the Goodreads books to read before you die list. You know what? I'm sure you said I'll give you 250 to get on that list, which you're the only person who could get me on that list. Here's $500. Here's $10,000. Here's $1 billion. I don't care. Here's a blank check. It's got to be working for them, though, right? The amount of emails you get, the amount of phone calls you get, the amount of everything is just ridiculous, which means somebody's making money doing this, or they just keep trying. I agree, even though it's a free service. Yeah, through Goods. But you know what? For $220, they can make sure you're on that list and save you so much time. They save you the what? I don't know, 30 seconds it would take you to put your own book on there. Hold on. How you doing? Not interested. Have a good one. Have a good one. We have one shingle on our roof that is a different color than every other one, and twice a week at least, these guys just driving around and they see what they think is damage on our roof. And that was another guy. Hey, I'm with, what do you call it? We're working around the corner with the whatever, and they make up some name that we're doing the roof there. And I'm like, not interested. I'm very mean to these people, but I don't care. Leave me alone. Hey, if we wanted our roof fixed, guess what we would do? We would go through our insurance and get the roof fixed. And they would send a legitimate person out, not some random dude walking around. He says, I'm about 5,000 words away from finishing Edgar Allan Poe and The Conqueror Worm. Nice. Then are you going to immediately start on Edgar Allan Poe and the Filet-O-Fish? Because that would be a great name for the third book in the trilogy. I can't remember the last time I had a Filet-O-Fish. You kept me motivated. I appreciate you saying that. I'm trying to keep myself motivated. The problem is right now, I'm going to be honest with you, that baseball game that I'm trying to move all the things over, there's a pre-order just went up for this year's version. And I know I'm going to buy it. 10% off or not, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to buy the damn thing. So much. Don't think they were around in 1848. Yeah, McDonald's started in 1822. So you don't know. I mean, AI Google something, man. You would have seen it. But they call them Filet-O fish. OH, not just an O. That's the difference. That's probably why you didn't realize. Good times. All right. I gotta stop looking at this baseball game. I'm gonna buy it. I know I'm gonna buy it. I was gonna buy one of Chad's books, but this baseball game. And maybe I'll buy both. I don't care. I'm made of money. Baseball starts soon. You know what? Today is the so now the Dodgers are in camp today. So every team now, pitchers and catchers have reported, and on Sunday, the Red Sox and the Tigers both everybody will be in camp by Sunday. And then games spring training games start. So I am very excited. Although I don't like the way they're setting up to watch games. Should a true Southerner be watching NASCAR? Yeah. But since I'm from New Jersey and I'm a Yankee, even though I hate the Yankees, I do not watch NASCAR. Church, you going to watch any spring training games? Yes. I know MLB Network will have a bunch of games that they'll have live or recorded. And then I always watch the play-by-play on the MLB.TV or whatever it is. I'm not watching, like, spending $100 and something to watch the games. And I'm not going to get the package because I just don't watch enough games. But I read baseball stuff all day. So I know if I bought the package, then I would be sitting in the living room from like 1 o'clock till midnight watching various games. So I'm not going to do that. What is the best place to subscribe to for the most games? Though that might be different for me looking for just Tiger games. You saying you don't have a package? I don't have a big package, Keith, to be honest with you. It's a very, very small package. So that's the problem here, Chad. You got to look it up individually, but I think Tigers are one of those teams that the FanDuel network now doesn't have them. FanDuel basically broke their contracts with teams, so MLB has gotten them. So it's MLB.TV. You're going to end up seeing a lot of those games. The good part is there's not going to be any blackouts. So they've eliminated that if you're doing the MLB TV thing, which is good. Like for me, I could watch Red Sox here; it doesn't matter, right? You know, they would black out the Tampa Bay and the Marlins games, which are annoying. So MLB TV is $149.99 for the season. And I think you also have to get the ESPN package with it. Well, they have a local option, which is $99.99 for the season. Stream games without blackouts. And then for me, it's on demand in the Miami Marlins and Tampa Bay Rays home television territory. So it will be the Detroit territory, Tigers for you. And then MLB Plus is $59.99. You get live audio for all 30 games, no blackouts. So those are your choices. Chess says, I saw a post that both Tiger games and K-Wings games are going to be in the same package. It was like an announcement to announce they're going to have an announcement. Get behave notices. Yeah, so it's the with the Illich family, they're kind of doing their own local thing, kind of like Boston does with Nesson. And so you will be able to watch like all those games as a package, but I think it's a package through so this is the broadcast information for the Tigers. Tigers announced TV and streaming plans for 2026. Stop with the pop-ups. Fans within the club's home television territory will be able to watch Tigers games through the same options that have been recently available. More information on cable satellite providers and direct-to-consumer streaming subscriptions will be communicated at a later date. So really, they've given you nothing. So Detroit Tigers and the Detroit Red Wings enter a broadcast partnership with MLB. So Illich Sports and Entertainment partnered with MLB, which will provide broadcast support to both the Tigers, beginning with this season, and the Red Wings, starting with the 2026-27 season. Platform creates a new platform where fans throughout the team's home television territories, including all of Michigan, can watch games and other content when and where they want. So there you go. So MLB will produce the game and distribute the games for the Tigers. Led by Jason Benetti and Dan Dickerson in the play-by-play role, and Andy Dirks and Dan Petrie as analysts. I remember Dan Petrie. So there you go. Says right, but zero details. An announcement to tell us there will be an announcement. Yeah, you're definitely going to be able to watch Tigers baseball and hockey. And it says at this point you'll be able to watch it like you normally do. But if there is seriously one source to watch the games, I'll be very happy. Yep. Like it's like old school. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day for us, of course, it was regular network television. Was Yankees were on channel 11 in New York, and the Mets were on channel 9, and then you could watch the Knicks. I think were on 11, and the Nets were on 9, and then you could watch the Devils on 11, I think, and the Rangers were on 11, and the Islanders were on 9, something like that. So it was a two channels. We had that here with the FanDuel thing. It used to be the Bally Sports Network, and then FanDuel came. So, like channel 401 was the Marlins, and 402 was the Tampa Bay, and then same with like all the hockey and everything else. So it was all split. Chad says, "Do you play fantasy baseball?" No, I haven't in many years. I used to play. I loved it, but then it got to be so crazy. And I play the Park Baseball has a thing. Basically, it's like a fantasy thing where one of the many things you can do on it is change your roster every day for the players that cards you've collected, kind of thing. So I play that every day, and it just is. Some days I'm like, oh, I forgot to change my roster, and now games are started, and I'm like, Scooble ain't pitching tonight. What am I doing? Why do I still have him on my pitching? It takes up a lot of my time. Chad says, only fantasy I've ever played is D&D, but fantasy football and baseball sounds fun. They are fun. I used to play. I mean, I played 30 years ago before we had the internet. We go through all the box scores of all the players and keep a list of everything. That was a lot of work for that guy. But he also took like 20% of the money we put in. Every time you did a trade, every time you moved somebody up and down from your roster, it was like $1. So you might get in for like $400 or $500 by the end of the season. Ches, I think I'll be doing fantasy football next year. I just need to learn first. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a casual football fan now. You know what I mean? So I'm not like baseball. I can tell you every player and every team kind of thing because I just love it. But with football, I don't know enough about some of the players. You know what I mean? That I need to uh, pay attention to. I also don't know. Like I know back in the day, like Yahoo baseball, Yahoo football, those were free, and I would play those. Those were fun, but I'm sure those, if they're even still around, I'm sure they cost money now because it's such a huge, huge thing. I guess if you find something that's free, let me know, and I'm sure, like an idiot, I'll jump in. Oh, it looks like this thing is finally moving. I see a green bar actually moving. Chaz says, my wife's brother has lived with their mom for several years and she died recently. So we let him live here in the basement and he reignited my love for football at the end of the season. Nice. I'm excited because I'm a Raiders fan and they did so poorly. They're going to get a good quarterback and they also got the offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl champion Seahawks now as their head coach. So I didn't watch a Super Bowl since Super Bowl 17. Wow. This was an awful Super Bowl. He's big into fantasy football, so I'm going to pick his brain. Yeah, that's good. To know somebody who knows what they're doing is a good move. Well, the cats just made an odd noise. I hope it's one of the cats. What are you doing? Stop. Stop. If I hear that again, I'll whack you. I get the windows open. One cat's clawing at the screen. Stop acting like a cat. Come on. Okay. I'm slowly getting words written, which is, something. And this thing just ain't copying. I guess it is a little bit. Okay. Like if that thing just goes to percent, I'll be happy. 1% of 68,000 folders. I don't know what that cat's up to. That nefarious cat. What is she doing? What are you doing? Let me close this window. Go close it. I'm gonna close it. You fucking know. I'll close all the windows if I have to. If I have to. Apparently, there's a squirrel or something in the yard. In the sitting on the friggin' in the window, scratching at the screen. Chess has been looking into contemporary places that are open to literary fiction submissions. It feels like starting over. I'm only familiar with horror markets. I use Duotrope. Duotrope. And I subscribe to a ton of publishers now. So I always know when there are things suddenly I can't capitalize people's names. Chad says, Chad, I follow Alyssa Matisic. She has 10 years experience as an editor and often sends a list of agents that are open and what they're looking for. Well, that might be interesting. Chad says, what are you working on now? Right now I'm working on the third book in the trilogy me and Tom Duffy are writing. On chapter 30 of 50. Problem is, it takes Tom 7 to 10 days to write his chapter between. So when I get him, I jump on it. Though I should have wrote on it yesterday, but I did not do much writing at all. Actually, yes, I didn't do any writing. I went to lunch with those writers, and then I came home. My arm was just, right here was just killing me. So I stopped at Walgreens and I got some Icy Hot, the roll Icy Hot. It's always better than the spray for me. And then I laid down. I read a little bit of Conan, took a nap. I had therapy at 3. And then I sat on the couch and I watched television. I tried not to move my arm as much as possible. So I'm writing it today, but I've already written on a chapter on the Severed Press thing. So I am at I'm over 15,000 words on that, and it only needs to be 30,000 words. Chess says, thanks, Keith. At this point, I'm just looking for paying short story markets, magazines mostly. I don't know how many literary anthologies are out there. If I write again, it'll be like dirty realism. Dirty realism. That was my nickname in high school. Dirty realism. Never heard of her. Yeah, that was one of the strippers at the bad strip club, but she would come in at noon. She was like the noon to 5 p.m. stripper. Not much to look at. Wow, that went off the rails. Chess, I've been slow in finding the names of subgenres I like or that I most often write like. Dirty Realism is one of those titles, so now I'm using it. Is it an actual subgenre, or is it just something that you fancy? Yes, it is. Raymond Carver was the king of it. I suppose the queen would be Flannery O'Connell. So more like Southern Noir, Southern Gothic. For the most part, yes, I get it then. Chess is real life about the mid to lower class. Ron Rash seems to have his toe dipped in there too. Yep. But less crime and more life. That would work. Yeah, I don't know what this thing is doing. It's supposed to be moving. It has not moved 1% yet. Ooh. Hold on. Now I gotta check this. Ugh, so many things I gotta look at here. What happened? Yep, I got it. All right. Just pre-ordered it. Just pre-ordered the game, in case you were wondering. Chet says, so I ended up using Kindle Create to format both the print and Kindle versions of Avonwood. Turned out well and not very difficult. Already ordered my proof. Nice. You had never used Kindle Create before? Little before your time? Or after your time? Whatever time thing is. I've used it for most of our kids' books. Gotcha. Going through some of these emails real quick. Just piling up. Most of them spam. I do got to get this book done though. I keep looking up. Keep looking at the thing. Still says 0% complete. What are we doing here? Well, game out of the park. Baseball 27 comes out March 13th, but I just pre-ordered it, so I get it March 10th, and I get 10% off. I'm not really like I don't play the baseball game, like play individual games. I love the statistics and stuff, so I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna play whatever team. I'm gonna play mostly the Red Sox, but I've done other teams. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna play the '84 Tigers. I'm gonna start from the '84 Tigers, and I'm gonna play like the next 20 something seasons, and I'll draft players. I'll make trades. I'll play around with their statistics and just do and like you have goals like you got to be a build a great farm system, stuff like that. And I just enjoy the stats and everything. Then of course I put myself into the game. I create my own players and I'll put myself into the thing and I'll play like you can sign contracts and you go to arbitration and then there's rule 5. There's all kinds of it's baseball. It's basically baseball. So it's keeping track of all those stats and everything is really cool. I do that instead of like, oh, I'm just going to play a game and I'm going to see if I can hit. I'm like, let the computer play the games, and I want to build up a team. And you can also do like a fantasy thing where they're not real players, and you can create all kinds of basically it's like fantasy players, and you draft them, and then you'll have like set up your own leagues, and you can do individual. Like you can be like, you know what, I want to do like 32 teams, and they're all set in Michigan. So then it just randomly gives you random Michigan cities, bigger cities, and then random names for all those teams. For instance, I've done it for Florida and for Jacksonville once or twice over the years. Definitely not my kind of game. I've been playing Arc Raiders. I don't know what Arc Raiders is. I'm not really big on like games. I enjoy doing this because I enjoy the statistics and the strategy. I'm more into the strategy stuff. Always have been. In Minecraft here and there. Which is probably how I hurt my arm. Playing Minecraft the other day for like 5 straight hours. All right. This thing ain't doing anything. Ain't doing nothing. Weird. It's so weird. About about a third of the way with done with the Tim Wagner Conan book. I like it a lot. It's definitely a good throwback to when I was a teenager reading Conan, and obviously when Tim was a teenager reading Conan. Watch the charts. Tim gets all the crazy IPs. Yeah. Good for him. Halloween, Terrifier, Conan. Yeah, I would like to write a Conan. I wouldn't love to write a Conan. I mean, I would like it. That would be kind of a neat thing to do. Those A24 movies like Pearl and X. Yeah, he does a ton of novelizations and different IPs, as you say, as me and the young kids say. Oh, I didn't take anything out for dinner tonight. I took the ribs out for tomorrow. I just realized. Isn't Conan the public domain so anyone can write one? I don't know. Uh, it's in the public domain in many regions like the UK, but their US copyright status is disputed. While many original stories are considered public domain, Paradox Entertainment maintains active trademarks of the name Conan. So there you go. Chess says, and here I am doing Picasso Trigger, staring four Playboy playmates. Total, total trash. Frank Adler said, hey, dorks. That's not nice. Yes, Conan, we're talking about Conan O'Brien is not in the public domain yet. Charlie said, okay, so you'd have to change the names. Yeah, which is dumb. So there you go. I think these books are by, I think these are Titan books. But there's a bunch of new, in the last couple of years, there are a bunch of Conan books. This one I'm reading now by Tim Wagner. Chad says, Mr. Frank, it's my 56th birthday today, so I already let everyone know they have to buy a decent stack of Lotsa books and listen to the album Grinning Like an Undertaker by you know who. Oh, he listens to all the Accused albums at work. That's the only way he gets people to stay the hell away from him in his office. Like, oh, he's listening to the Accused again. Ugh. So you heard him, Frank. Buy Joe Lansdale books. Listen to The Accused. Frank says, "Oh, I do need to buy me a brand new Chadletsky book. Let's see what I need." Yeah, see what you need, not what you want. What you need. I'm sure you see the difference there. Oh. So I got a bunch of romance authors are talking on the Nink threads about their books because apparently, according to their contracts with the publisher, every 5 years, as long as they have a copies in the physical copies in the warehouse and or a new update of the book, whether it's a new cover or new inside matter, whatever, then the basically your contract runs for another 5 years. So it's basically we're going to keep your books in perpetuity, even if we're not selling any. Neon Owl is very good. Off the top of my head, I enjoyed that. It's more crime, but I like that one. So now they're like, maybe we should all get a lawyer, since I've been doing this since the '90s with these books. I'm like, they've been doing this to you for like 30 something years. Armin would recommend Neon Owl. I just literally Armin just said it. Owl is Lansdale-ish. Chad wishes. With lots of humor and crime. The other is crime, but also raunchy sex stuff. Last one I read was Three Smallmouth, so I dig Chad crime. Yeah, if you dig Chad crime, Neon Owl. Armin recommends. I'm gonna start talking like Ricky Henderson now. Jimmy likes Elaine. Yeah, an owl it is. There you go. Happy birthday, Chad. Frank says I can buy a book through the Kindle app again. Nice. All right, Chad, he already bought the book. I think the last part is the only thing that Lansdale probably said. He probably said, Chad Lutsky, I don't know her. I love The Accused. That makes way more sense. Frank says, I just returned it. Yeah, you pushed too hard. You pushed too hard. I have 2 boxes of Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies currently in the freezer because you got to put them immediately in the freezer. And I really, really want to eat them. But I know once I start, I will never stop. And then I won't be able to get more boxes of them. And yes, my life is hard. Chet says, hey, nobody pays attention to blurbs these days. If I get the chance to use it, then I'm gonna, dang it. Can't blame you for that. Chad says, let me know what you think of it when you've read it. Spooky Dad says, what up? What up? We're just hanging around, you know what I'm saying? Hanging around. I'm going to be hanging around for another half an hour or so. I think. Probably. Brother. Bruh. It smells like I'm done here. Chad, #1 fan. You're the only one that's popping up on my list. Let me see who my top fans are right now. Chad Lesky 1, Keith 2, Charlie 3, Frank is 4, Spooky Dad is 5. There's 6 people in the thing right now. I got 4 thumbs up. 4 thumbs up. Seven in now. This is insane. And I bought my Out of the Park Baseball new game, too. Pre-ordered. Lots happening today. A lot. And I'm almost finished with this chapter. Frank says, nice. Frank also says, what up? What's up, dog? Chad says, LOL, there we go. There we go. I don't think this thing is ever going to copy. Ever. Anyone in here read Helter Skelter? The lyrics to the Beatles song? I did. I did many, many years ago. Frank says, sometimes you really let your age show. And that's what makes you so endearing. Anyone watch that new talkie, Gone with the Wind? Anyone see those fine comedians, Laurel and Hardy? Tube? Just I started it last year and picked it up again this week. It's a dark book. I mean, really, so what you're saying is when you got to the bottom, you went back to the top of the slide. I get it. Yeah. Chad says, can't for the new season of Bozo the Clown. Spooky Dad says, almost finished with Ghost Eaters. Frank says, I saw me one of those Flickr shows a fortnight ago. A fortnight. Chad says, that sounds like something Bowden would say unironically. Yeah. You see they're doing Tremblay's book into a movie finally? Thought that was a good. I think that wasn't my first. I think I read a short story collection from Paul. I like Paul. Or as I call him, PT. Hung out with him at Nikon. First year I was there. He kept, for some reason, asking me questions about things. And everybody was like, Jay Wilburn was like, how do you know him? I'm like, I know him the same way you know him, from online. Apparently he likes to talk to me, not you. Which Tremblay book? Chelsea's a big Husker Du fan. Yeah, Trombone is right. Head Full of Ghosts. They're doing. They announced some of the actors and actresses involved. Oh my goodness! Stop with it. Michael Schotter, happy Friday to you too as well. Glad you found us over here. Make sure you're on Twitch though. You still subscribe. Still need that money. Frank asked, were they questions like, what's it like being a peasant? Good times, people. Good times. All right, couple more lines, and then this bad boy's done. This bad boy's done like a Husker Du fan. Chapter done. Get her done. Justice Tremblay and Graham Jones over there still teaching college while being in the top ranks of horror. Yeah, I mean, but realistically, you wonder how much money they're making, and with families and where they live and blah 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 blah. Frank says, "How come you aren't in the celebrity room?" Now that's in my head now. Nick's in the house. Next page. Next page. Nick's in. Next page. Sorry for yelling. Now let me text Tom. He's probably sleeping. Let him know the chapter's done. Then he won't touch it until Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or the week after. Too much pen stealing in the celebrity room. Speaking of that person, I'm not going to name by name. He's going on and on about AI. I saw a post from him because I snooze him, but I can't. Apparently, he's back, and he was complaining about whatever, and about somebody who sent him a friend request or a message, and they use AI. And his comment was, which I thought was hysterical. He's like, "I mean, if you're going to use that stuff, I'll make you famous." Who are you? Who do you actually? Who do you think you are? I know who he thinks he is because he hangs out with that person way too much. I'm like, really? You're gonna make somebody famous? Shut up. I'm sure that person is quaking in his boots. All those people interviewing him better watch their P's and Q's. Yeah, exactly. P's and Q's. Both of them. Both of the P's and the Q's. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what it was. He was interviewed on a podcast. He was doing them a favor. I'm sure they asked him, they begged him to come on their podcast. And then he did, and then they're using AI. What? What kind of trickery is that? What kind of blatant sorcery are we talking about? That person that used to badmouth constantly. Yes. Yes, and now they're apparently best friends. Hang out all the time. Which is hysterical. Yeah. Shenanigans. Let me save this. All right, so that goes back to Tom. I got a chapter done. Apparently, there's some new crime thriller webzine thing that just appeared. I don't remember the name of it, but everybody keeps complaining now because they're open for submissions. They pay pro rate, and so like a ton of people in the short story mystery crime thriller board that I'm on I have like 30 people send these people stories, and now they're all getting rejection. Everybody's complaining that the rejections are obviously written AI, and then I guess they started uh, posting up covers, and they obviously are using AI to do their covers. So now everybody's like, and I'm like, that's why you wait. That's why somebody's like, oh, we're doing a new thing. Okay, well then I'll wait until it's like hey, they open a new McDonald's in nearby. You don't go on opening night. You don't go for the next couple weeks. You know why? Because the service is going to be garbage. Frank says he charged you for the interview, but you don't own the interview. Yep. Chad says some people make a bad metamorphosis after they sell a few books. It's sad. Yeah, he definitely. Basically he sold the same book and killed like 12 publishers. Nick says I have the perfect pizza short story. So does everybody else, Nick. So does everybody else. Is Max? Are they still doing the publishing, or are they just basically doing that store now? I haven't seen anything from him in a long time. Not that I'm out there looking for it, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, see, Max Booth. Is Max still even doing publishing anymore? Or is he like, yeah, I'm done with this? Chad says, "Dunno, I unfriended that kid a long time ago. I think he unfriended Frank at some point or something, if I remember correctly." Yeah, see, he's unfriended me on Facebook. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't think I've had any. I was on his podcast, however many years ago that was, and we talked about Funko Pops. And he basically just made fun of me for an hour about Funko Pops. And I was like, whatever. Stuttering little boy, you don't mean anything to me. Now I'll jump back into Mammoth. If I can get a page of this done, I'll be happy. Michael after how brutal last year was. Yeah. Nick says, I'll never leave the wayside. Otherwise, I may lose my parking spot. Oh, Nick making parking jokes again. Nick, what do I say? Stop with the parking jokes already. It's too soon. Never give up the primo spot, Nick. Michael Schotter says, and jumps to number 3 on the list. Max has been unfriending me for years. Frank says, yeah. Doesn't really make any sense. I mean, I could look it up, but I'm not looking it up. I imagine it sounds like that he's not doing the publishing anymore. But it seems like a lot of people are not doing the publishing anymore. Keith says, I haven't heard any of the parking jokes. Feel free. No. Don't start him. He has hundreds of parking jokes. Nick is filthy with parking jokes. And he's up in the Milwaukee area. So he's got a lot of them. I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. I appreciate it. I really do. I also appreciate people who are watching my videos after the fact as well. I appreciate that. I know Chad is. I know Keith is. Anybody else who's doing it, play them on in the background. Put them on mute. I don't care. Just watch them. Nick says, a driver couldn't find a spot, so they just parked in a no parking zone and said it's a temporary arrangement. Nick, I've heard that joke before. It's the way you say it. It just makes me laugh. I couldn't figure out how to fasten my seatbelt, but then it clicked. Wow. I hope you're actually not looking these up now. The other day, an attendant stopped me in a hospital car park and said, you can't park here. It's badge holders only. I looked them in the eye and said, I do have a bad shoulder. Wow. Nick says, I'm looking them up. I guess, you know what, Nick? Keep them coming then. I've been watching them. Fee education. I appreciate you watching them. You can watch each of them 3 times. You just can't watch them 3 times in a row. So just go back and play them in the background. I broke 1,800 hours. I still need 2,200 more hours. So keep watching. Charlie says I'm stealing the bad shoulder one. Make sure you tell that one around the dinner table tonight. Kids will be howling in laughter. Sweet S says, I'm chipping away at my first novel. Keep it going. Keep it going. Nick says, I once flirted my way out of a parking ticket. Unfortunately, it was with a traffic cone. Did you actually find that one online? The fact that there's parking jokes. I mean, that's got to be... You can find anything on the internet. Are you on parkable.com? This one says, I was getting in my car when a friend asked for a lift. So I said, okay, you look amazing tonight. And off I drove. What's a vehicle's favorite kind of dance? Break dance. Ah. There's the one, the bad shoulder one. Will you validate my parking? You did a great job, evenly spaced and the perfect distance from the curb. I can't believe there's like Keith says I'm happy to take credit for this show. I was complimented on my parking today. Someone left a note on my car saying parking fine. I've got a joke. It's not parking, but it's in the wheelhouse. Give me a second. All right, hurry up. What driver never gets a parking ticket? A screwdriver. I'll probably now YouTube will probably go, yeah, that's a bad word. A pirate walks into a bar with his steering wheel sticking out of his pants. Bartender says, "What's up with that steering wheel sticking out of your pants?" Pirate says, "R, it's driving me nuts." I was gonna say, yeah, if I was 12, that'd be funny, but really, at 56, that's still funny. Yeah, because I'm still a child at heart. It was a pirate. Get it? Pirate. Frank says you can't spell pirate without irate. That is true. Nick says, how do sports cars flirt with a little vroomance? Vroomance. Frank says, that's not a joke. That's just the way it is. Yeah. Spooky Dad says, what do you call a pig that's forgetful? Amnesia. You know who loves these stupid, dumb, punny jokes? My son. God, he's always sending us dumb jokes. The best story about my son is he was like I think he was like in first grade. I've told this story 100 times already, but it's funny. I had Reader's Digest. I used to get in the mail, and some of them he loved reading the jokes because they were so cheesy. And then he went to school, and I got a call from his teacher who called me. She was very upset, and she said, "Your son told an inappropriate joke." And I said, "Can you tell me the joke?" And now I'm thinking, oh my God. I use the F word every other word. Like, God only knows what joke he's. And she said, he said, two cannibals were eating a clown. One cannibal turned to the other one and said, "Does this taste funny?" And I laughed. And I said to the teacher, who did this offend? Did it defend the cannibals in your class or the clowns in your class? I don't understand what you're upset about. Well, that's just an inappropriate joke. And I said, it's a joke. It's just a joke, man. I said, did he say it and disrupted the class? Did he do anything wrong? She goes, no, he told this joke during recess. I said, okay, so he just told the joke, and I'm sure his friends laughed, and I would hope there's going to be nothing happening because of this, if you understand what I mean. And she's like, no, but I mean, I just wanted to make you aware. And I said, well, thank you. I am aware that my son has a sense of humor. I was very annoyed. And then he came home, and then his teacher sounds like a Karen. Yes, before we called them Karens, that's exactly what she was. It's not your son's fault she has a dry sense of humor or no sense of humor. But then he came home. I'm like, she didn't say anything else to you. And he's like, no. He's like, I guess I'm not supposed to tell jokes. I said, no, you can still tell jokes. Just say it when she's not around. Chad says, and I hate using that term Karen, but that's how much of a Karen she sounds. Yeah. Like, literally, it's a 6-year-old kid telling a cannibal joke. He's not like telling a sex joke or a pedo joke or anything. Calm down. I watch a lot of British shows, and they always say pedo, so I got to say pedo. Nick says, and this one is bad. Saw a man in a parking lot throwing Stephen King novels at people. I couldn't outfigure why. Then it hit me. Get it? It hit me. That is cheesy. I left. Frank says, I'd have told him he has to tell one joke a day in class for the rest of the year. Yeah. Chad says, it's not like we have a cannibal epidemic. Not yet. You're fired, Nick. Nick was just getting on a roll with these super funny jokes. Oh, the copying over is now at 2%. It still says time remaining more than a day. So 2%, though, is of 68,000. That means 680, about 1,700 of these moved over already. Crazy. Of course, the speed was at 0. Now the speed is at 18.1. 18.1 millibars per second. He says, is it because you're streaming the download is so slow? No, it wasn't doing anything like an hour before I jumped on either. I put it on like at like 10:45, figuring, all right, I got an hour and 15 minutes, and it just was not doing anything. Now it's actually speeding up, and it actually hit 2%. Nick says, got a parking ticket the other day for being parked illegally. Not sure why. The sign clearly said, fine for parking. Fine. That key's got nothing. Yeah, I don't. Other than that, it's just a lot of files, and it's going slow. I don't pretend to understand any of this. So I got 4 collaboration opportunities. Guest feature with the Horror Book Club. 4 different spam from 4 different people. 132, 136, 138, 142. That'll get me to do it. If four fake AI people all send me the same message 2 minutes apart. That'll make me go, you know what? They really want me for this horror book club. Oh, I'm in. Okay, I'm going to do a little writing on this. Really, anything over 2 hours. I got like another couple minutes. 69 degrees right now. Have mercy. Nick, have you caught up on Expedition X? It was a good episode this week. Part 1 of 2, I guess. I thought Heather looked cute. Sometimes she wears these really tight pants. And she wears the black sleeveless shirt that accentuates her upper half. Does anyone get choked? Phil got choked. You saw it. Mr. Frank, I'm not even going to repeat that because YouTube will ban me. I caught the very end of it. You got to watch the whole thing. You're missing key points. I'm hoping the wife and I tomorrow for Valentine's Day go to see Crime 101 movie. But Halle Berry is in it, and my wife does not like that woman. I don't either, but I still want to see the movie. And then we're going to make ribs for dinner in the smoker. Smoke them if you got them. Nick says, I know I forgot and tuned in. No clue where they were and what they were doing, but I bet Heather screamed and they found spikes and chunks of wood in the ground. No, wait. You're combining two shows. But Heather did scream. Heather 100% screamed. They were in some country. So they were definitely in some country. And then the other country with is Tobago. And the last bad joke ever, I doubt it. 2 dogs walk over to a parking meter. One dog says to the other, how do you like that? Pay toilets. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I didn't even chuckle at that one. I'm not even sure that was a joke. Why can't I think of the name of the country? Trinidad. Why can't I think of Trinidad? Trinidad and Tobago. Good stuff though. Good stuff. Who's out there? Who was slamming doors? The neighbor next door, for some reason, whenever they leave the house to get in the car, they close the door like 15 times. Like they put something in the car, they close the door, they go back inside, they come right back out with something else, they close the door. I'm like, you could carry these things all at once. And then like one gets in the car, then the other gets in the car, then the other, and then somebody gets out of the car. It just was annoying. Even AI couldn't have written a joke that bad. Yeah. AI was like, I'm not touching that one. AI was like, oh, was not funny. I don't see you getting up to help them make less trips. Oh, fine, Frank. Put it on me. It's my fault. I always know it's them too because I hear a door open, close, open, close, open. I'm like, what are you doing? What happens when a frog parks in a no parking zone? It gets towed away. Nick, who promised it was going to be the last bad joke. So what is Nick to all of us? Let's all say it in unison. He's a joke liar. How did this thing go from it was at 0% for like, I don't know, the last 3 hours. Then it went 1%, and then like 5 minutes later, 2%. And now it's on 2% at the same speed for like half an hour now. Frank says, Nick, dead to me. You know what? I'm with you on that, my friend. I am with you on that. Again, I want to remind everybody to hit the subscribe button and watch more of my videos. If you have any questions, every Wednesday and Sunday, the goal is to post a writing video about something like, what was last week? How I juggle multiple projects, or beta readers, how I write 400,000 words a year, stuff like that. Why did I do that? Joke liar. I meant joke liar. Oh. So I don't know what Sundays will be. Frank, you gonna be around Sunday morning for me and Peter to hang out and write? Really, what I need to do is just say to Peter, here's Frank's email. Just you email him. Why do I always have to do it? Maybe. All right. I'll take it. If you're there, you're there. Tomorrow, I know I'm not going to be on. But Sunday, I usually hang out with Peter from like 9 to 11 or so. Then I'll probably go and make something for lunch. And then I'll probably be out back here about noon on Sunday. Just letting anybody know. My goal is like another 2, 3, 5 hours. I'm going to stand as long as I can on Sunday and just write. And if nobody comes on, that's fine. No pressure. Pop in and say hi if you want. But I'm going to get a lot of writing in on Sunday is the goal. Really, if nobody pops in, then I'll get a lot of writing in. So hopefully I'll get some writing and some people in. You can all hang out. Email too late. Yeah, we were only on for maybe an hour and a half last week. But somewhere around 9 a.m. is when usually he sends me the message. So again, if you're on, you're on. We'll see what happens. Michael Stress has got to go have a good one and stuff. Michael, thank you for hanging out. I hope you're back next week. If you happen to pop, hit the resubscribe for me. On Mondays, I'm on Twitch as well. Hey, I'm still trying to do that and watch the coffee. Spaghetti says I'll try to. I appreciate that. You know what? As long as you're going to try. Frank Edler, peace. Hope you went peace, like us kids do. And then when you leave, like, peace out. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go lie down. It's cold. I'm going to go lie down under my blankie, and I'm going to read some more Tim Wagner book. There you go, Frank. There, I knew you had it in you. So I'll be back technically on Sunday. If you're around, pop in and say hi. And if not, Monday. Now, Monday, my wife is off from work. It's President's Day. But I will be on. And I'll be on Twitch and YouTube Live. I hope everybody comes on YouTube Live, though, to be honest with you. Keith says, have a good weekend. You as well, Keith. Have a good one. Mr. Frank, that's unacceptable. All right, everybody. I will talk to you. I will see everybody on President's Day. So I expect you to bring something, a historical fact about one of your favorite presidents. It doesn't even have to be a United States president. It could be a president. It could be a president of the world. See you then, Spooky Dad. Happy Friday to you too, Nick. That was probably your funniest parking joke, though. Happy Friday. I get it. Parking jokes. George R. Martin. Yeah, that guy. That guy is hysterical. Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah. I mean, we can but save that for Monday. All right, everybody. I will talk to you later.